Hello. This is a podcast about gossip, dirty laundry, chitter-chatter and backfence prittle-prattle. In each episode Joe Wilkinson, David Earl and Poppy the postwoman invite you lot, the lovely listeners, to send in any juicy gossip you might have heard over the years. At the end of each episode they will choose their favorite bit of gossip and help spread it around the world. So, without further ado, welcome to Gary Mabbott. No garlic munchers. No gloopy mung beans. No gossipmongers. Yes, gossipmongers. Yes, gossipmongers. Yes. Gossip number 1.
After listening to the recent rumours, I feel I need to inform you of the antics of my local pub landlord in Burnley. Basically, because he was a proper tight fucker, he used to stream the football via his laptop instead of paying for it like everybody else. Anyway, one Sunday afternoon after the football had finished, the said landlord retired to his living quarters above the pub. Still paired to the 60-inch TV in the pub. Imagine the shock of the local as they watched him log on to xvideos.com. What's worst was his search entry, British Chav, J-O-I.
J-O-I. What's that mean?
British Chav, J-O-I. For anyone unfamiliar with the term, it stands for jerk off instructional.
What? God, it's got niche, isn't it?
Yeah.
I welcome it. I welcome.
Fair play to you, man. It's your house. Do what you want.
Yeah. What proceeded was Right. Fucking hell. What proceeded was 7 or 8 minutes of some rough northern tarts telling a full pub to get their little...
Get their what?
Get their little cocks out, amongst other things.
Oh my God.
Get your little cock out.
I've had all of this.
They were mainly stop, now carry on kind of instructions, which made it even more worrying knowing he was performing these commands about 10 feet above our heads.
Fucking hell.
Stop. Now carry on.
People still quote the bossy chav to this day. In fact, I don't think I've ever been in the pub since without someone shouting the most memorable line of all. Stop touching yourself, you dirty pervert. Put your hands on your head. God. The landlord soon left the pub for another shithole in Bolton.
Onwards and upwards.
His wife apparently left him because she had figured out that their dog was in the room as he masturbated to Chavs. There we go.
Yeah, stop it.
Yeah, there we go.
If your dog to join in.
J-O-I. J-O-I. Wanking above a pot, get your little cock out. Wanking above a pot, get your little cock out. Get your little cock out. O-I. Get your little cock out. O-I. Gossip number 2.
This rumour begins and ends in a northwest secondary school around 20 years ago, Royston. A young chap on the periphery of our friendship group had always been slightly odd and often made unusual claims. For instance, on the first day of the first year, with a deadpan face, he had introduced himself as Gay Boy Roy.
He introduced
Bold
himself.
opener.
There seemed to be nobody else who had come from his primary school, so we don't know if this was him starting afresh by inventing a brand new Royston and looking to distinguish himself.
Wipe the slate clean.
Or whether that had been an offensive nickname he had brought with him and not thought to shed. There weren't any other Roys at our school, so Roy would have sufficed. One notable rumour about him was that in year 9, he'd been caught by a teacher and some pupils in the arts and crafts stock cupboard, completely naked, speaking in tongues, and very slowly masturbating.
Slowly?
Yeah.
Right.
The teacher demanded he stop, and the pupils squealed with shock, delight, and disgust. But Royston maintained perfect eye contact with the teacher and gradually finished his activity, chanting louder and louder until the end. I've no idea if the rumour is true, but in year 11, close to the end of our time there, somebody confronted him about the strange event, and his response was to laugh and then shout, "Of course it's true. Don't you know who I am? I'm gay boy Roy, and I fuck my dad."
Such confidence.
Yeah. He then ran to the other end of grounds and joined in with the football.
Well, why shouldn't he? He's gay boy Roy.
He now has a normal job
He doesn't.
and a seemingly normal wife. But I don't really see him around. I probably wouldn't bring it up if we spoke. That was from Anonymous.
He's my hero. He's great.
He is, isn't he? Yeah.
Fucking hell. I love that first day of school.
Yeah.
Set me stall out.
Hey, how are you doing? Nice to meet you. Yes, it's my first day at St. Mary's Infant School. My name? Oh, it's gay boy Roy. Friggin' deal with it. My name? Oh, it's gay boy Roy. Friggin' deal with it. Gay boy, Roy, gay boy, Roy. Gossip number 3.
I write to you about an unfortunate incident that happened on the London Underground about 15 years ago. A smartly dressed businesswoman was on the Hammersmith and the City line heading home from work. The long day and gentle rocking motion of the tube and the garish strip lights had obviously combined to make her feel quite sleepy. We, the other passengers, were enjoying keeping a sly eye on her nodding off. Each time her head dropped, she startled herself awake and tried to keep some sort of composure. Eventually sleep won and she nodded off completely. Oh. Enter a tramp, coughing and spluttering and mumbling to himself. He reeked of piss and took a standing teetering position near the sleeping businesswoman. A tiny throat-clearing cough sent a wad of tramp phlegm flying onto the oblivious woman's lapel inches from her face. I feel sick. Oh, I really don't like phlegm.
No.
I don't want to read this. Okay, the rest of the carriage looked at each other in horror and disgust. The tramp duly got off the tube, and it must have been his stop. Our eyes were now glued to the sleeping lady and her soiled lapel. A judder woke her up. She saw the large cottage cheese globby on her lapel. And assuming it had dribbled out of her own mouth whilst asleep, surreptitiously pulled the lapel into her mouth.
Oh, that's horrible. What do you mean? What licked it?
No, I can't read it. I can't. I literally retched it. Oh, can you read
Listen,
it?
mate, do you want me to take over?
Oh, shit. Phlegm's my thing. I can't. I literally retched it.
Assuming it dribbled out of her own mouth while fast asleep,
shit.
surreptitiously pulled her lapel up to her mouth and quickly slurped it up.
Oh, shit. Oh, God, I feel sick. I'm going to have to leave, I think.
Do you feel sick?
I hate phlegm. I just... Oh, God.
Do you generally feel sick?
Yeah, like, that is my worst. Oh, fuck.
This is such a dangerous recording session.
God, I'm not happy.
Okay, if you'd like to send your phlegm rumours in to
Oh, shit, I've gone hot.
Oh,
That is literally my... Oh,
Really?
I hate
Yeah.
that shit. Oh, shit, tramp phlegm.
oh,
Oh, God.
horrible.
The fact that she just went...
Oh, don't do
Yeah.
that. Don't do that movement.
Slurped it back up. Horrible.
That's going to stand. That's going to stay in my head for days. I know it.
Oh,
shit.
God.
I would have got off the. Oh shit! I would have got off the gym before that.
You were panic.
Yeah, I'm going to open the doors quickly.
We've been sick in here. There's some sick. Should we get John to... John looks worried.
Oh shit! Sorry. No. Sorry. I was getting some air because I was just getting some air because the story really upset me. Oh,
It's gross.
it's a really gross story. Sorry. Sorry.
They all look
All
so
this is
worried.
going in. All this is going in.
God, I'm not ready. I need a break.
Okay.
Okay, right.
I can't even have a biscuit now.
Poor old Joe. Little did we know that he disliked phlegm so much. Giant, white, thick, cottage cheese type phlegm. Phlegm baby, flam. Giant, white, thick, cottage cheese. Giant, white, thick, phlegm baby, flam. Gossip number 4.
So this is from Rod. Oh, okay. Yeah, this is from Rod. Hi guys, loved the first episode. I have a bit of gossip about someone from Whitley Bay in the northeast. He was called the Bean Man. Apparently he used to stand at his window and watch people go by and stir a tin of beans with his knob.
I see why I got the nickname. This is more like it.
Me? Use spoons? No. Not for me. I prefer putting my old fella in there and giving it a wiggle, whilst watching others go about their day. Obviously. Gossip number 5.
Okay, this is from Bradley.
Bradley.
Hello. When I was growing up, there was a disused pool near me. The gossip was that it was condemned for a specific reason. There were
Swimming pool.
a swimming pool near them.
Okay.
There was a hermaphrodite that would hang out by the pool in the early 80s called Howard. Howard Dainty Hands.
Howard Dainty Hands.
Howard Dainty Hands.
Howard Dainty Hands would often regale stories about his sexual exploits to the teenagers after they'd been swimming. A few years later, Howard stopped
Howard
attending.
Dainty Hands.
Does he live-
Suddenly dawned on me.
Does he live in the pool? I don't
No, he
understand.
doesn't live there, Poppy. Don't be silly.
In the little water filter.
He lives nearby and hangs out there, basically. So he would often regale stories about his sexual exploits to the teenagers after they'd been swimming. A few years later, Howard stopped attending, and soon after the pool was shut. It's believed that Howard had demanded the pool closed down as a memorial to his child. This child was the product of Howard fucking himself. I don't know if this is biologically possible, but I can't look into the pool filtration system without thinking about Howard.
Howard Dainty Hands. The peculiar man from the swimming baths who apparently got himself up the duff by sticking his willy in his vagina. What a complete load of old bollocks. Gossip number 6.
This is from Tom King. You can use Dean's real name as he's a cunt. And he got sent down after he attacked a family. who were trying to stop his dog attacking their dog.
He sounds awful. Let's get him.
Is that how it starts?
I grew up in the suburb of Sheffield. It's quite middle class, not your usual shithole that weird stuff happens in. It's a very quiet and well-to-do place. Anyway, when I was growing up there was a couple locally known as Bummer Robbo
Oh, God.
and Mad Meg. She had a white stripe in her hair like a skunk. They lived in an enclosed skip, had a roof and lockable double doors, which was located behind the swimming baths. Apparently, if you banged on the skip, Bummer Robbo would chase you, and if he caught you, he'd bum you. He was relentless and would never stop like the Terminator. It was rumoured that Dean asterisk had been bummed by him around the back of the electrical substation near Oaks Christian Centre after a very long chase.
The amount of detail in this is frightening.
It was said that Mad Meg would then curse you, so you had a really bad life.
Really
What a lovely couple.
a really bad life. Quite a vague cursing.
Dean never denied the bumming, despite it being brought up all the time. Bummer Robbo and Mad Meg eventually moved out of the skip into a council flat, but got chucked out after they smeared their own shit over the walls.
Oh, that's it.
Yeah.
Right, it's probably going to go in.
You wind me up, and I will bum you. I will. I will find you and I will bum you. Oh, and by the way, my wife will bring you bad luck. Don't know how, but apparently she will, 'cause she's mental. Gossip number 7, celebrity. Jeff Lloyd.
Hello, yes, this is about the fella who runs our local corner shop, which is called Five Sapphires. Don't know why it's called that. I don't know his name either. I've been going in there 5 years and it'd be a bit weird to ask at this point. Anyway, between me and you, he's playing fast and loose with the multi-pack rules. You know, there are lots of items for sale in his shop which say on them multi-pack only, not to be sold separately. But they're being sold individually. Tins of beans, cans of fizzy pop, that kind of thing. He's also selling like these 3/4 sized tubes of Rolos at full-sized prices, but I think that might be a separate issue.
Gossip number 8.
Right, this is from Dwayne. Melbourne, Australia. Dwayne.
Dwayne?
Okay.
Thanks, Dwayne. Dwayne, eh?
I'd love to be able to do an Australian accent.
It's quite easy, mate.
Okay.
There you go. You done it, mate.
I can't do it.
Absolutely nailed it.
Can you try one?
There you go.
Like Dwayne, eh?
Okay, so this is
mumbling.
okay. This was one from my town when I was young. This kid from school, who was a little rough around the edges, apparently sucked off a dog for a bow and arrow set. I came in there, gave up,
Little twist.
and then I saw that twist.
What would you do for a bow and arrow set, David? Poppy?
Did he suck off a dog?
Apparently sucked off a dog for a bow and arrow set.
There are some really good bow and arrow sets out there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I'd do. Why not?
Who can resist the challenge of scoring a bull's eye? For one quickie blowy you will receive a large archery target with stand, one archery bow, and 4 suction arrows. You're making up your own jokes now. Ha 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 ha. Hee hee ho ho ha ha hee hee ho. Ha ha ha. Gossip number 9.
Hello, who's this from? Dee Dee. Hello, I'm emailing you regarding your Twitter request for gossip. There used to be an Indian restaurant in Worcester called... There was a rumour for many years that the chefs would ejaculate into the food. People going there would joke that they were going for a chicken jizz frazee or an onion bar jizz. Admittedly, this second one doesn't really work. I think it does. After years of joking around, the place was visited by the local council, who found traces of semen in the food, and they were closed down. To be clear, I never ate there. This was where things get weird. A few months after the scandal, a young Christian girl found out she was pregnant and blamed it on a rogue sperm. A rogue sperm, which she claimed had managed to traverse the complicated route from her stomach to her fleshy uterus. Doctors remained sceptical that this was possible, but she was always stuck by her story, and the resulting baby is now a teenager. Oh, it's funny, it's a teenager now. In homage to where he was conceived, his middle name is... last week, he started working in a local Italian. Because of their continued refusal to take reservations, which is frankly ridiculous, people are already joking that the place is first come, first served. Lovely stuff, Dee Dee. I thought that was going to be your run-of-the-mill jizzing in the food story, but well played, Dee Dee.
Yeah.
Onion bar jizz. Yes. You're right. It does work. Chicken jizz frazee. Again. Superb. Gossip number 10.
There was a bread delivery driver around our way that used to love his mum very much. A little too much, some might say, as the rumour was that he used to pleasure her with offcuts of freshly baked French sticks. We used to know each other quite well, and on the odd occasion I found myself at his/her house. Why is it his and
his mum's? His and his mum's?
Oh, right. I get you. Yeah. She answered the door wearing...
Why would it be his and hers? That's the problem you've got with this story, isn't it?
Yeah, I don't like that bit. She answered the door wearing far too skimpy of a nightie to wear around your own offspring. And she took me through to the living room. I went to find my friend wearing just his boxer shorts, and a very happy penis peeping through the slit of his boxers, which he was unaware of. Things were too weird for me to kick back and enjoy a few drinks. So I asked to leave. As I got up to leave, I saw 2 parts baked rolls, which had fully unravelled condoms over them next to the remote controls.
No, he didn't see that at all.
Which I thought was pretty weird. His mum walked me to the door, and as she walked in front of me, I saw a suspicious amount of crumbs attached to the back of her nightie.
Saved himself there.
Yeah.
Not she might have just sat on the sofa, there had crumbs on it. That's definitely gone in.
And also something swaying just below her ass cheeks.
What?
On first glance, I thought it was part of her fancy nightie, but on second glance, it was an unravelled condom, again, yeah, attached to something underneath her clothing. When I think back to this day, I feel uneasy, and although I have no proof of things, just didn't seem
You've got a fair
quite-
amount of proof.
Half a bakery in the kitchen.
Covered in condoms.
Although I have no proof, things just didn't seem quite right. He has his own house now.
Great.
He's moved out. He's
Great.
moved. Didn't move out till he's 36.
Baker, who apparently wrapped crusty baguettes with condoms and then pleasured his mother with them. I have never ever said that sentence before in my life. Not even close. Joe, Poppy and David will now choose their favourite room.
Right, the first one is Bean Man.
Bean Man. Oh, stirred his
Yeah,
tin of beans with his winkle.
yeah. Second one is Suck a Dog Off. Suck a Dog Off.
Sorry, mate.
Bar-
Sorry.
Suck a Dog Off for a bow and arrow set. Okay.
Yeah.
Howard Dainty Hands.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. Not time for dating.
Gay Boy Roy.
Yeah. My hero.
It was such an age ago we talked about.
And the final one is JOI Jerk Off Instruction Pub Landlord.
I can't handle that one.
So, what we got? Cool. I don't think there's any that stick out here.
Well, I know which one I want. I'm going dainty hands.
I'm going to go
Yeah, I
Dainty
think
Hands.
dainty hands as well.
Wow.
I've never had that before. Dainty
Wow.
hands.
Oh, I
Oh.
thought there was a thing.
So, right. We're going
Right.
to spread the rumour.
Do I? Right.
Yeah,
can
you
I
go.
think for a second?
No.
No, that ruins
no,
it.
no.
Yeah, but I can't remember.
Open the window, spread the rumour.
All right, okay. All right.
Right, obviously you're not going to be able to open the window unless you get up and over to the wall. So, open the window.
Good miming.
Now you've got to spread it around the
Okay.
town.
It's like you've forgotten.
There's a hermaphrodite, both genitals.
Yeah, they know what that is.
Lives
Yeah.
in a swimming pool.
Lives in-
Lives near a swimming pool. Some guys are going to it. I can't remember. They work
don't
out
worry about
he's been having sex with himself. He has a baby. It dies somehow. He
I
asks
don't know if
me,
it dies. I don't think it dies.
No.
Don't had that.
But if you want to tell him it died,
well, why did they shut the pool, lad?
Well, because he had the power to shut the pool.
don't ask them.
Don't start shouting questions down to strangers.
You open the window.
They're just going on with their day. I need abuse from you.
I think he shut the pool because it died.
It didn't die. Stop saying it died.
But yeah, it's shut down. But, is that right?
Yeah, shut the window.
I can't think.
I want to film you doing that.
Howard
Staring at
Dainty
a blank
Hands.
How Dade has clear winner.
Great.
I don't even think I said that it's called Dainty Hands, did I? If people
I
outside
don't
are
think they
gonna.
care.
I think anyone cares.
That's the least of the problem.
Oh well, that's it. That's the end of the episode. So we'd like to say goodbye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye, ta-ra,
Bye-bye, bye-bye.
Sorry about the amount of bumming.
If you would like to send in an unsubstantiated bit of gossip, then please email gossipmongers@yahoo.com. All names will be changed to protect the innocent. Until the next time. Next time. Until it. The next time. Until. Time. There. Next. Gossipmongers. Gossipmongers.